Hello, am I speaking to John?
Yes.
All right. And you can hear me fine?
Yes. I can't tell you. I'm only saying a couple words, but yes.
All right. So I have 20 minutes with you. I'm going to try and milk it for all it's worth.
All right.
I'm just going to jump right into it. Um, the topic of the day is filth, but before I get into that, I just want to say one of my favorite, pre-Christmas stocking stuffers every year is your top 10 film list for Art Forum.
Oh, thank
And
you.
you always manage to make your blurbs are much more exciting than the actual trailer would be, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And it always gets a lot of attention because it's the very first top 10 list that comes out because Artform publishes it December 1st. Most top 10 lists come out January 1st. So I get a bang for my buck of pushing movies that probably mostly are no one else's 10 best list.
And whenever I think of whether film has the capacity to shock, you always manage to find the perfect combination of films that manage to do exactly that.
Well, I try to surprise the audience until I try to pick films that would surprise me. I mean, I didn't think I was going to really like Joker, but I really did. So I was happy to put that on there too. And I'm happy to remember that Todd, the director, started out making the G.G. Allen documentary called Hated and a movie called Chicken Hawk. So Todd started really, and I love that he clawed his way to the top and somehow got Joker through the Hollywood system. Imagine test screening that in malls. I mean, it's pretty amazing to me that film got through the system.
It's always miraculous when an element of real hysteria accompanies a film premiere in this day and age. And I know there was the whole, right wing scare surrounding it, but I took one of my friends in blind. He's a self professed communist, and he came out thinking it was, a wonderful piece of leftist propaganda.
Well, I think it was both sides. That's why I think it worked, and that's why I think it was a hit. That each side could imagine that it was about anarchy on the other side, and that's probably why it was such a across the board hit that no one expected.
And to just tail end on the film part of the interview, um, what is the moment for you when you're watching a film when you realize to yourself, this is something really special?
Well, I can usually tell right away. I would say if you don't like a minute, if you're watching a movie and you don't like it 40 minutes into it, you're not going to like it. I mean, I can pretty much tell if I like it, and usually a movie that ends up on my 10 best list, I like it even more and more as it goes along. Or I'm so troubled by it that I don't know whether I hate it or like it, which would be definitely the movie that was on there. I forget the name of it. The one that Faye Savitar made. The Golden something about the serial killer.
Yes, yes.
Oh God, that movie is really a shocker. And I couldn't tell if I really hated it or really loved it. So the more I thought about it, I thought, well, this is worth seeing, and it's incredibly well done, but it is very, very unpleasant to watch.
And on the topic of filth, I have not seen the original show or film of This Filthy World. I want to go in fresh this time when you come into town.
Well, good. It's
So,
completely different. It's not one. I don't think there's one joke the same in it because I'm constantly rewriting it, just like the Christmas show. I have to write a whole new one every year, so it'll be completely different than that. I promise you.
so has anything radical changed in the state of filth in the past 13 or 14 years?
Well, of course, the president, who's even ruined the word bad. So yes, it's radically changed. Yes, exactly. And you can't really have a show called This Filthy World without doing some filthy stuff about Trump because he talks about people filthily too. So I think it's fair game. And I always say afterwards what a great country it is that I can say some of this stuff and not get the firing squad.
Does it seem as if after at long last, moral outrage has again entered the popular lexicon after so many decades of being
I don't
jaded?
think it has. I don't get why there's not demonstrations every day. I mean, when I grew up, it seemed like even Nixon wasn't this bad, and there were riots every day, bombings, there was skyjacking. There was a lot of protests. I don't see that much. What happened to all the good kids who were walking out of school? How come they're not? Why aren't the bad kids walking out? What take the bad kids and the good kids? I don't know. It seems to me that women's march is one day a year. It'll be every day.
And And I was going to go into this question later, but I guess it kind of ties in with what you're saying. Do you think it really takes sort of that cocoon of middle class sensibility childhood that the boomers had that we probably didn't have, the younger generation, to produce that sort of panic when things turn out a lot differently?
Well, I think that we grew up like in the 50s, certainly with like everything was supposed to be like father knows best. And the 50s were a terrible time. People don't remember that. They were where everybody had to be alike, and it was horrible. It was one of the worst times. It was probably the worst decade that I grew up in. Yes, we had good cars and rock and roll was invented, and a lot of good things happened, but it was all because of how stupefyingly square the world was in the 50s. So, yeah, it was a very different time. I don't look back on the 50s and go, God, I wish it was like that. I think every year gets better in some ways and worse in others, but I don't think that kids aren't having just as much fun as I did when I was young, when they're being hackers or whatever you do to be a juvenile delinquent today.
Now, being an icon and a person of stature in the very word filth, is so much attached to your persona. Do you have people constantly trying to send you and share with you the latest nasty thing that's popped up on the internet?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes, but mostly my fans are smart and they give me great presents and stuff. I mean, I know what you mean. There's things like, people have eaten shit in front of me. People have taken out their Tampax and asked me to autograph it. But they're all doing it in good humor. They mean well, all of them. I've never really had anybody do anything that truly did offend me. I mean, I thought it was kind of funny.
Have you come across anything recently, like a newly invented sex act or a strange online community that really took you for a loop when you
Well, I
discovered it?
don't really understand the plushie thing, because I went into a leather bar they have in Baltimore. And first of all, I'm amazed that there's a leather bar left open because, young people don't need to be tied up because they're gay. They're perfectly happy with it. But, and there was plushies there, and I thought, this plushie is S&M? And there were a lot of lesbians, which I really didn't get. So I guess the plushie fetish I don't get. I never like stuffed animals anyway, much less do I want to be one or fuck one. I don't get it.
And I guess in a
And adult
documentary,
babies, I'm not marching for them either.
yeah, and
And there's ecosexuals. I talk a lot about this in my show. Ecosexuals bury themselves naked and kiss the earth and lick plants while people dance around them. I find that almost kind of laughable, but I guess each to their own.
I guess you could incorporate some poison oak for an extra element
Well,
of
that would be
S&M.
S&M ecosexuals, right?
Now, I guess it's kind of a new development that every fetish almost has its own political lobby now that they're all organized.
I guess. I mean, yes, it is certainly. Yes, I did a whole thing in the Christmas show where I was talking about is every holiday going to end up being a gay holiday? We're going to have Groundhog Day. Are they going to be the new bears? Is there always some new thing being invented? I think in some worlds it is because people have to eroticize whatever body type they end up with, and maybe that's good.
Now, this filthy world and our very sense of filth, as you have said over and over, is very also tied into our sense of good taste. How do you develop a sense of what's wrong? Is it your upbringing, or do you just have a kind of a prodigal knack for it?
Well, I was raised very much to have good taste, to what my parents thought was good taste, and the tyranny of good taste was what I rebelled about. But I even thank them in the acknowledgments of Mr. Noel in my new book. I thank them for giving me the obsession of good taste so I could rebel and make a career out of bad taste. But I think to appreciate bad taste in the right way, you have to know what good taste is and actually have good taste to appreciate bad taste. Because bad taste is I mean, that's the Trump White House. I mean, there's nothing funny about how he decorated. It's not camp. It's just bad Jeff Koons.
Do we kind of need sort of like a healthy, bland, vanilla, middle class sensibility in order to truly have fun with how we shock, and
No,
we need something to
definitely not.
offend?
Definitely not. I think everybody can appreciate taboos. Everybody can appreciate making fun of the rules, and every organization has rules. Liberals seem to have more rules now than even conservatives. So, to me, I think everybody understands making fun of their own rules, and that's how you keep a sense of humor. If you can make fun of your own rules, if you can't, then I think you somehow become the enemy.
In that sense, with the way things have shifted, do you think it would be a lot tougher for a renegade beginner such as you yourself were to enter into the fray now?
No, I think it could still happen. I think I made fun of myself first. I criticized everything I did first. By calling a movie Mondo Trasho, and the word trash is certainly not allowed. I think I make fun of myself, therefore I can make fun of the rules of, like, the gay world or political correctness. Even though, because I think I technically am politically correct. So, I do make fun of the fact that it seems to be just for rich people. You know, all this obsession about political correctness. A lot of it I agree with, but the more radical ends of political correctness is why Trump is going to win again.
So there needs to be kind of an element of kindness or love if you really want to be as filthy as you want.
Well, I think kindness is, I don't think I'm mean. I guess I'm mean about Trump. But I don't think most of the things I criticize are things that I like. I make fun of the art world because I like the elitism of the art world. I make fun of obscure art movies because I love feel-bad European films. So I'm making fun of things I love, which is a very different tone than making fun of things that you hate.
Now, a part of the original show, as I saw it described, was also your obsession with true crime and actual real life outrages. What do you think of the recent sort of renaissance of everything true crime related, from podcasts to all these
Well,
Netflix
it's come a long
documentaries?
way, hasn't it? You know, and I think I made fun of that in Serial Mom a long time ago, because that was when Court TV was coming out and everything. So certainly, I think I've probably already satirized that. But you're right, true crime is now, becomes a miniseries even before the trial a lot. I mean, in the Harvey Weinstein trial right now that's going on will be a giant hit if it's on TV. He's already in trouble for refusing to put his phone away, and I couldn't believe that. That happened today.
And have you pretty much
Who can he call?
right?
That's what I was, right?
Well, it keeps going up, probably to the Pope. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's in cahoots with the Pope. That'd be a good one. There's a conspiracy theory I haven't heard yet.
But have you pretty much stopped going to public trials? Is it
I
pretty much?
have, because I changed a lot. I wrote about that in role models a lot. I taught in prison since I went to trials, and I've worked with victims groups. I've worked with, I still visit people in prison, so, and I try to get people out sometimes. So I guess I got a little more serious about it. And to be honest, I can't go to trials anymore because people I get recognized. So it's unfair to the defense or the prosecution if I walk in and people think I'm making a movie about it or something. So I used to go and I could watch as a spectator, and that's kind of hard today to do that.
I guess there's no use in putting on a disguise.
No, you never put on disguise. That never works. I mean, that only just draws attention to you and makes people think, you guys are famous. Get over it.
So what else are you covering in this brand spanking new edition?
Well, I certainly talk about politics. I certainly talk a lot about politics. I talk about humor. I talk about fashion. I talk about death. I talk about love. I talk about. I think it's an equal opportunity topics that I go through in the whole show, and it's not just what's in my book. It's not. It's always changing. I mean, the skeleton of it may be the same a little bit. I do go through my movies, but it's not so much about anecdotes about making them anymore. It's what's happened to them and what the subjects of each one of them, how it's changed, and how somehow these movies are respectable now, which is kind of amazing to even me. This week on Turner Classic Music, Turner Classic
Yeah, I've found. I just watched Multiple Maniacs on a DVD copy from our public library, which is right
I
across
know.
from the children's section.
That shocks me too. You know what I mean? Where are the parents goofing the I mean, it is shocking to me in a great way. That's what I'm saying. A lot of things are better, and librarians are always great. They always fight against censorship. That doesn't just. I've been the speaker to many librarian conventions, national ones, and they are the sternest fighters against censorship because they have to face it in the little communities sometimes a lot.
Yeah, I myself, I'm over at the California State Library, and there's a lot of eclectic people. I think we don't usually go around talking about the rosary scene in Multiple Maniacs, but I
Right.
feel like there's sort of a renegade uh, streak to the librarian.
But there definitely are. Librarians are not, the cliche librarian is a prude. They're the opposite of prudes from my experience with librarians. They like to party at their conventions. They have a good time. And they fight censorship. They read. They're smart. Librarians are great people usually. They're radicals. They devoted their lives to books.
Now, considering that fashion is one of the topics on display, and that we're kind of over a questionable phone connection, I guess I have to ask you, what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? Well, I'm wearing what I wrote in every day. I'm wearing, let's see, Paul Smith socks, pants from the Gap, a black turtleneck from Land's End, and that's it. I come to Garcon tennis shoes. But I'm not going out to be, tonight when I go out, I will put on a different outfit if I have to go. I just did an appearance this week at the 50th anniversary of the Cockats because I'm in San Francisco where I have an apartment, which was kind of moving. It was, that was when my films first caught on in San Francisco 50 years ago, and this was some of the people that booked them, and the stars are there, 50 years later, and so that was a good evening. So I certainly wore something a little more showy to that.
Oh yeah, and flipping back to politics very quickly, I've sort of resigned myself to the fact that any given conversation will eventually lead to Trump. In this past 4 years,
Well,
and
except at Christmas, because I said that people should, the only way they could go home at Christmas this year is to have a real silent night. You're not allowed to speak. No radio, no TV. You open your presents in silence. No miming. No, you chew your mouth closed. You get up and you get out. That's the only way you could get through it. In case, suppose, your uncle was talking about how Melania is misunderstood, or suppose you took a knee before Grace. You never know what's going to happen.
hey, Melania photographs great nude,
Well, I never saw that.
but sorry, I got distracted by that thought for a second. But because everything seems to be so despairing around this topic, is there anything you can say positive that has emerged from this era, this never-ending 4 years? Someone said it's not 2020, it's 2016, Volume
Yeah.
5.
Can I think of a positive thing? That's a tough one. No.
Hey, that's
I
a
can't.
fair answer.
Yeah. No, I can't really. I think the Democrats are equally as, not equally, but I think we have a jealous lot of people to run against this president, but I think we couldn't come up with somebody better. It shows how clueless we are, too. I'll vote for any of them, but I don't think any of them can win.
All right. Well, I've kept you for almost 20 minutes, and I want to ask you a big favor. I know
Okay?
it's cheesy, but one of my childhood role models in filth, my classmate Victor, I sort of introduced him to Pink Flamingos, and he
Right.
illegally downloaded it for me, and he became obsessed with it. But we used to write these nasty doodles and jokes in notebooks, and he got caught with his. He took his concept way over the line, and in seventh grade, the cops came and confiscated this notebook, and it's probably still in the West Sac Police
Oh,
Department.
because of Pink Flamingo?
Uh, well, not because of it. That was actually before we discovered that. He's
Yeah.
always been filthy. But I was wondering if you could say to him something along the lines of, hey, Victor, you know who I am, bitch. I'm the filthiest person alive, or
Ready?
something along that.
Ready?
I'm
Hey,
ready.
Victor. Ready?
Yeah.
Hey, Victor. JWaters. Please stay filthy. And I'm just calling to say that filth never dies.
Excellent. Thank you
All right?
so much.
All
And
right?
is there anything else that should be part of this thing before people go in to see your show?
No, I think just come and bring a sense of humor and be able to laugh at yourself and realize that the only way we're going to ever change anything is to make the other side laugh.
Excellent. And one more
Okay?
thing, I was curious about whether you know of this documentary called Haunters about people that make haunted houses in their homes.
No, but that sounds good. I listen to the ghost of them all the time. They seek out the worst ones and stuff.
Yeah, there was this guy in the suburbs of San Diego called McCamey Manor that started out as a conventional haunted house, which became, over the years, kind of a snuff dungeon for his suburban neighbors. It's an 8-hour grueling experience of torture run by some questionable types that he's kind of attracted over the years.
Have you
But I
been?
thought it would be up your alley.
No, I'll look at it, but I'm not going, definitely. Life's too short. For 8 hours of anybody's personal vision of hell.
All right, well, that's all I've got. It's been a
All
wonderful
right.
pleasure talking to you.
Sacramento.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. How the fuck did that happen?